Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name's Danielle and I'm the owner of Damn Fancy Creations and the Drunk Flamingo Glitter. If you guys are new to my channel, I want to let you know that all of my groups and links are posted in the description below in case you guys want to check them out. Today's tutorial was taken from a live that I did in my Drunk Flamingo Glitter group. I just love how this tumbler turned out, so I wanted to share with my YouTube family as well. This tumbler is made using the Drunk Flamingo Glitter, my new anti-Valentine's Day pattern vinyl, as well as one of my new vinyl decals. If you guys did not know, the Drunk Flamingo now offers vinyl decals that are very similar to white backed decals. You can apply these to any color tumbler, and I have several different options to choose from right now, and I will be adding more in the near future. Everything you see listed here will be covered in our tutorial today, but if you guys have any questions about materials or steps that I did, please feel free to ask in the comments or in one of my groups on Facebook. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get started on this tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so we are going to start with a 32-ounce plump from the Steel Magnolias. I like to use these tumblers because we can pop the bottom off of our cup, so we can do a glitter butt, rhinestones, shaker bottoms. I like to use a metal putty knife. I just kind of wedge it in between the bottom cap and the tumbler, hammer the putty knife in, and then easily pop off that bottom cap. We can discard that. We don't need to use it for anything. And now we can start decorating our tumbler. So I am using my new anti-Valentine Day pattern vinyl. I thought it was super fun. I created this on my iPad and I just love how it turned out. Right now I am just trimming off all of the white edges. That way we're not going to have white edges at the top or bottom of our tumbler. And I thought this one would be fun to do a vinyl wrap, but a diamond vinyl wrap. I saw Drea from OMG Tumbler and Teas. She is also one of my glitter affiliates, if you guys did not know. She did one similar to this, or at least design-wise, not a tumbler like this, but I saw her do a diamond wrap, and I had never done one before, so I thought it would be really fun to try for this tumbler. So first I'm going to make a template. I am just using a regular sheet of copy paper to make a square. I am trimming off the excess. So now we have a square. And I'm kind of comparing that to my tumbler. This is a pretty decent size. I was happy with the size of my square. So now you guys can ignore this part because I thought I could just draw a square like I typically do when I'm cutting out squares of vinyl, but I forgot that it is a pattern. So if I tried to put a square on there, then the pattern would be upside down if I tried to apply it like a diamond. So as I was drawing my lines, I realized that I needed to make a diamond in the middle of my vinyl sheet. So I am putting my diamond in the center. This way all of our skulls and our conversation hearts are going to be facing up and the right direction when we apply it as a diamond to our tumbler. So I am just connecting the dots that I made. And then I'm going to trim off these edges. And for some reason, my little cutter does not like to cut vinyl with the backing up. I don't know why. So I just decided to take my scissors and cut that straight line. We are going to be outlining everything in pinstripes. So if you can't get a super straight cut, that's totally fine. And I was showing my group how I was saving these little corners because you can always use them to decorate future tumblers, like little V-splits or something like that, or just random designs. So now I was happy with the wrap now that I cut it out correctly. You guys can see all of my little skulls and conversation hearts are facing up. And this pattern literally matched exactly. I don't know how that happened, and if I tried to do it again, it would never happen again. But I am just removing just a small piece of the vinyl. So it's kind of like a little swing. And I'm just wrapping my vinyl around, making sure that the corners matched up. And then I'm going to take my little squeegee and we're just going to smooth out the vinyl as the backing is being removed. And this video is sped up quite a bit. I am moving at a slower pace just to make sure all of the wrinkles and air bubbles are out. And then when I get to the end, I am just making sure that everything is smooth. Then I am just going to fold over the vinyl over the top edge and the bottom edge. And then we're going to get our edging tool from Cami Page Boutique. I do have a discount code down below. This tool is super handy to have. There's a little blade in there. I have the half spacer as well. And you just easily trim that vinyl and it produces a flawless rim on the top and bottom. I also use this for my epoxy rims, though I do have to heat it up a little bit. So now I decided that I'm going to make a little white diamond for my decal to go on. So we're going to have a diamond on the front and then a smaller diamond on the back. And then we're going to put our decal onto this white diamond. This decal does have a white backing. It is printed on white vinyl. So you don't necessarily need to have a white piece added. I just thought it would look better if it was designed this way. That way the decal kind of stands out. So I'm going to break out the Ultimate Guide tool, which is also from Cami Page Boutique. And I'm just going to use the pencil tool right now. There are several different little attachments. You can put a blade in this holder. You can put a pencil. And I am just going to draw a line right in the center of the vinyl that we already applied. That way I know where the center is, and when I apply the little diamond, I know it's going to be straight and centered on the top and the bottom. You guys can kind of see the line. And again, I'm just cutting a tiny piece of this decal off. And I'm going to attach it, make sure everything looks good. I'm even looking at the other side to see where both of the points match up on the vinyl that's already on the cup. And I can see that they're both matching up with the diamonds and the proper space. So I am good to remove that backing and smooth it down. And then once we have our diamond on there, we are ready to apply our decal. I was a little worried about the darker vinyl showing through the white, but after I epoxied it, I could not tell at all. So we're just going to pick up our decal with transfer sheets. This is definitely an instance of me not throwing away transfer tapes when I should. I will literally use them until I cannot pick up anything anymore. And we are just going to center this decal on our white diamond. And my cup cradle from Cami Page Boutique had not come in yet, so I was just using my desk. The one that I had was just this huge PVC mess, and I hated it because it was so bulky. But now we have our decal on, and I think this is super cute. I think the colors of this decal go great with the vinyl. And now we are going to start glittering our tumbler. We are going to use Artistry's glitter glue to apply our glitter. If you guys have not tried their glitter glue, I definitely suggest it. I used to only use epoxy or a spray adhesive to apply my glitter, but lately all I use is glitter glue. It acts very similar to epoxy in that it smooths out, it soaks up glitter, you can get good ombres with it. I always have like 2 bottles on hand because I love it so much. And during our live, I kind of gave my group members the options of what glitter we wanted to use, and they settled on Junebug and blue Pina Colada. I thought both of those colors went really well with the vinyl and the decal. And I also decided to tape off one side of my tumbler. I typically do not tape off, but again, I like to show you guys different ways of doing things. When I am doing ombres, I also always like to apply my glitter with a tea strainer. This is one that I just got off Amazon. And I am just going to apply that glitter glue pretty liberally. And then I'm going to do the bottom. The bottom I did not tape off just because I typically don't tape off. So I'm just being careful going around all of the vinyl. And once we get that glitter glue on, I'm just making sure that it's pretty smooth. It does a good job of kind of leveling it out anyway. And then I'm going to start with my first color. And we're just going to sprinkle that on with my tea strainer. Both of these glitters are a fine and translucent colors. It was really going with that pastel anti-Valentine Day vibe. So now we're going to go back with our purple, which is Junebug. And we're going to sprinkle that on the opposite side. And then we're going to overlap the colors, kind of blending them in the middle. And I like to hold my tea strainer pretty far up when I'm trying to get a good ombre. It helps the glitter kind of fall more sporadically and not so concentrated. So I'm just going back and forth until I get good coverage. And then we're going to go back with a little bit more of the blue and just kind of blend that in a little bit more. And with Artistry's glitter glue, I never have to do a second coat. One coat is all you need. So we're just blending, blending, blending. And once you're happy with how your glitter looks, if you did tape off, you can go ahead and remove that tape. Then I am going to wait for the glitter glue to dry. I'm going to spray seal it with Rust-Oleum 2x clear. I try only to get it on the glitter. Sometimes when you spray it on vinyl, it can cause the edges to wrinkle, and we do not want that. And after the spray sealer dries, we're going to put 2 coats of Artistry's Fast Set Epoxy on our tumbler. Their epoxy is the best I've tried. I get very minimal bubbles and a very nice shiny finish. And once those 2 coats are on, we will sand off any bumps, and then we will be ready to apply these pinstripes. So when I cut pinstripes, I typically cut full sheets at a time. If you guys did not know, I do have a file on thedrunkflamingo.com of my most popular pinstripes. It has sizes 0.07, 0.05, and 0.03. I always like to cut different sizes so I can layer them if I want to, or I just have different size options to choose from. And when you print full sheets or half sheets at a time, then you have tons to choose from, and you're not having to cut 3 or 4 pinstripes out at a time just for one single tumbler. And this was another option that my group got to choose. I just pulled all of these pinstripes out and we landed on these colors. I really like the holographic rose gold because it really went with the rose gold lines that were on the vinyl. And then we opted for this tealy blue for the interior pinstripes. I just placed them really close to that rose gold line and just kind of outlined this diamond. And all of my vinyl, such as this, solid colors, hollow, metals, all of those vinyls, they come from my local vinyl supplier, which is Perfect Press HTV. They're located in Norcross, Georgia. If you guys are in Georgia, I do suggest checking them out. They have an awesome store. It's grown so much. I believe I've used them for about 8 years, I think, and they have changed so much, but for the better. Their prices are great. I think that sheets of regular adhesive vinyl is like 50 cents or something like that. It's something crazy. But I typically buy in rolls. So I am basically just outlining the patterned vinyl in the same color, which is this holographic rose gold. That way that rose gold is kind of consistent on both sides of the tumbler. And then after I got the rose gold on all the spots that I wanted, I kind of let the group again decide what color we were going to go with next between the pink and the purple. And they opted to go for purple. So now I am just going to take the purple pinstripes and we're just going to outline the next section that we're going to do. And I believe the rose gold pinstripes I used were 0.07 and the purple, teal, and pink were 0.05. So we are basically just pinstriping the top section and the bottom section with the purple. I thought the purple was a good choice because it added a little bit more definition. And then after we got the purple pinstripes on, I decided that we might as well go ahead and use the pink. So I basically offset the two sides of the tumbler with the pink vinyl. And I don't ever use a guide pinstripe or anything like that. I really just eyeball it, get it as close as I can. It's usually pretty easy to do. I just kind of lay them down like 1 inch at a time, press them down, and then move to the next section. So now what we're going to do is take some UV resin, and I am going to use a silicone brush, and I am just going to go over the edges of my pinstripe with this UV resin, very, very thin layer, and we're going to cure this resin. This will help prevent your pinstripes from lifting under epoxy. I'm sure we have all been there where we will get a cut perfect, we will put epoxy on it, and then those edges of the pinstripes start to lift, and it is so frustrating. So we are just covering all of the edges, curing it with a UV light. So now everything is down and flush. Then we are going to put our final 2 layers of epoxy on the tumbler. Once that is completely finished, we are going to use Artistry's Fast Set again, and we are going to do our glitter butts. I have 2 cups that I needed to do glitter butts for, so you guys get to see me do 2 of them. This little donut cup was done in my Damn Fancy tribe in January. This was our project last month that turned out so cute. So we are going to start with, I believe 10 mils total is what I did. It may have been a little bit more since I was doing 2. And we are just going to mix this up. I don't ever mix my epoxy for a certain amount of time. I just mix it, and I like to keep an eye on it. And when I don't see any more striations or any more cloudiness, then I know that everything is well incorporated. And then I will add my glitter. So I am going to pour some of this in a separate mixing cup, and we are going to add some gunmetal black holographic glitter. This is Starry Night. And we are just going to pour this in the exterior cavity. I have just learned to pour it in easily. I used to use popsicle sticks to get all of the epoxy in there, but sometimes that's a little bit more difficult. So I just kind of use my popsicle stick to fill in any spots that may need just a little bit more. And you don't need to fill this all the way to the top. We don't want it overflowing into the second glitter color. So I'm first going to start by mixing up a little bit of Kinky Blow Pop. And we're just adding a little bit. I did add way too much glitter to this one. Sometimes it just pours in there. So I'm just smoothing out that epoxy, bringing it to the edge of the little cavity just to make sure that everything is nice and full. Then I also used the same Kinky Blow Pop mixture for this tumbler, and I wanted to break up the color just a little bit. So I added a little bit of Starburst Martini. Just to give it a different pink hue. And this mixture was getting a little thick because I clearly added way too much glitter. So I was having to just kind of drip this in with my popsicle stick. If I tried to pour this, I think it would have come out in one big glob. So once we have our epoxy in there, I'm just using my heat gun just to pop some of the bubbles. I typically use my torch, but it was not upstairs. And this one, I was trying to smooth down some of the chunky parts. There was a lot of chunky glitter in here, and in between the smaller cavity, some of the chunky was kind of sticking up. Now I'm just taking my logo tags. I got these from Mizzy's Doodles. They're super cute and fun. They have my business logo on them and the diamond shape, which goes perfect. So once that layer of epoxy has cured, I am just going in with a top coat of UV resin. You can use regular epoxy. You can use fast setting epoxy. I just like to show you guys different ways of how to do things. And you can use UV resin for the first part of the glitter butt, but the glitter does need to be translucent, iridescent. It cannot be an opaque glitter or a opaque chunky glitter, because then the UV resin may not cure properly. So here's what our glitter butts look like, and here's what our completed tumbler looks like. I thought this turned out really fun and cute. If you guys decide to try this tumbler, please post in my groups. I'd love to see what you guys come up with, and tag the Drunk Flamingo, tag Damn Fancy, just so I can see them. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If y'all enjoyed this tutorial, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to catch the next video coming up that was picked just for you. As always, if you're looking for more tips, tricks, or tutorials, be sure to check out my tutorial group on Facebook, my Drunk Flamingo glitter group, or my Damn Fancy tribe. All of those groups are linked in the description. Thanks for watching!